Do you have the ideal energy every day consistently? Like, do you have that pep in your step, that clarity of mind, your body feels good? Or are you one of those like me who used to have like that dip in the afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock? Or maybe you feel like you need to have a pick me up, like you need a coffee or an energize or sugar or whatever that might be. Or maybe you're feeling like it's just part of getting old. Well, today's guest is going to bust these myths. I can't wait to introduce you to my biz bestie, my work wifey, Anya Perry. She is amazing. She has gone through her own journey of poor eating habits and nutrition and lack of energy, and she's found a strategy, a routine that works. She is the habit queen. In fact, she is the host of the Habit Queen podcast, but she is also a weightlifter, a competitive weightlifter, a Primal Health Coach, and a CrossFit Level 1 coach. And she is going to bring some incredible nuggets for you today to help you bust those myths and find some strategies that are practical that most of them don't even cost you a penny. So without further ado, let's go. Hey, Anya, how are you?
Hi, Robin. So good to see you. It's been a
I
long time.
know. I know. Oh my gosh. So I am not even going to try to fake it. Anya's like one of my favorite persons on the whole world. She's my business wifey. That's what I call her. She's amazing, and I can't wait for everyone to hear about you and about energy, because I know for me, you have really taught me so much. Just dragging my lazy butt around, and you are always like, I mean, not that you never have a day, right? But you have a strategy, you have a routine that keeps you at like such a high performance level. It's just really inspiring to me. But can you share with our listeners just a little bit about your background? How did you get into, coaching like this? And, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I feel like we were supposed to have this done in a while. We got so busy. Just excited. I am excited to be here with you. I feel like it's going to be a good little coffee chat or tea chat. So
Yeah.
a little bit about me. How much time do we have?
Okay.
I
You've
have
got an
I've lived
interesting
I have
story.
like five
Yes.
lives,
Yes.
and I'm joking about it because I feel like it's been a long time coming. I've been a coach for 5 years, and unofficially I've been coaching for almost a decade. Started with health and fitness, and the reason I became a coach because I had a story. As an immigrant from Russia, as a girl who was successful on paper but miserable on the inside, I was a smoker. I was eating sugar, was binging on sugar. I had so many unhealthy habits, and most of them were now that I understand how habits are built and how energy comes from. I know that it's just been habits, circumstances. My mindset's been suffering a lot because I grew up in a very conservative family with super strict parents. And there's a lot of trauma, childhood stuff that most people go through, including bullying
Mhm.
and breakups and all of that stuff. So by beautiful age of 25, I found myself pretty sick. I just moved to the United States and I was eating even more things that were so exciting, like Twinkies and Cheez-Its and popcorn. And I was going through college and I was going at a very, very fast pace. I needed to work much harder than anybody else to stay in the country, to have some future here, to get a good job. And at some point, I was dating someone. I had a super bad breakup and I didn't see it coming. I ended up on the floor of my mom's bedroom when I went to visit them back home with a bottle of tequila and sobbing and realizing, okay, this is the reason. This is a sign. This was my rock bottom. I know it can get worse. But for me, that was the sign that something has to change. And what changed for me, the first thing changed for me was a relationship with myself, a relationship with food, because that was a huge piece. I was just either eating 800 calories or binging and super unhealthy habits. So after that, my life started to bloom, not without challenges, not without peaks and valleys, but I met a really good guy. We've been married for 8 years now. I started my business after quitting corporate because I was burned out in the corporate and I was doing something I was not enjoying truly. So I think that's my story in a nutshell. Became a weightlifter, a marathoner, then weight crossfitter, then weightlifter. I'm kind of like social butterfly
Mhm.
with sports after being completely unfit for almost 30 years of my life. And I'm competing now. I'm a coach and I'm competing. And I've
Mhm.
been coaching my own practice, my own one-on-one clients, and also joined a beautiful company called Mission 22 as a health coach and post-traumatic traumatic growth facilitator. It's hard to say. And I've been helping veterans where our mission is to prevent suicide through health coaching support and resources. So that's me in a
Beautiful.
nutshell. I try to
Yeah.
squeeze it in.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love the work that you do, and we for our listeners, we talk every day, multiple times a day, and Anya is an amazing coach. We kind of coach each other, but I think I get the better end of the deal most of the time. But yeah, I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? We learn as we grow, as we evolve, we learn, and then we have this passion to pay it forward. You and I are so much alike in that way. And you just are so good at staying consistent with your goals and staying accountable and balancing your energy. Like, when you need to get away, when you need to just give yourself a day off, when it's go time, how to get stuff done. And, like we were talking about before the show about how, through this last couple of years, we've all experienced dips in energy. Just I don't think there's anyone that wasn't affected in some way, emotionally, physically, spiritually, with our energy, with all the changes over the last 2 years. So, what would you say are like some of the three main like myths or trouble spots with energy that we could be on the lookout for?
Yeah, and I want to thank you for such kind words. You're an amazing coach as well. Once you if you spot it, then you got it. I think that we've been affected so much. What I'm noticing more and more, we're so used to think about time management, we're so used to think about diets and all those huge pillars, but we're not learning how to calibrate our energy. And with COVID, everything came to the surface that we're absorbing that crazy amount of negative information and data, right? We're constantly brewing in our thoughts. The anxiety level's been high worldwide. Habits went under the window. Some people, though, if you notice, some people took care of themselves really, really well. So I want to bring up these three myths because I think they're super common, pandemic or not. And the first one is that it's age dependent. High energy is age dependent. I'm near in my 40s and I have more energy every single day. There are almost no days when I don't feel blah, when I feel blah. And have more energy than I had when I was in college, when I was 19 and 20 and 25. So it's possible for you if you start rewiring, relearning about yourself, learning what boosts your energy, what drains it. Is it people? Is it your diet? Is it your exercise or lack of thereof? And I think that's such a common thing. Women just giving up in a way, or kind of waving it off and shrugging it off and saying, well, I'm 50. It's normal for me. I don't have a lot of energy, right? So that's the myth that I disagree with for sure.
Yeah, that's one that I would say, I don't think my energy has been so bad, but there have been times, and yeah, we can easily say, "Oh, I'm just getting older." I remember one time I said that to my chiropractor. I said, I'm just getting old," and he goes, I actually have clients that are older than you that are in better shape. So no, it's not about your age. I remember I was like, I was so offended, but then I took that as a challenge, right? Wow. Okay. Really? Because it's a myth. It's a belief that we hold. It does not have to be true. And we were talking about, I just recently went through a fasting protocol for my gut health, and I have more energy than ever. Now I know how much, um, you know, stress and working all the time and food really does affect, not just your body energy, but your mental energy as well, your mental clarity.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I moved here to Napa, to Circle Oaks, where we are, and I was super hilly here. And I want to share a fun story. I ran into a couple who were 70 plus. They didn't tell me their age. Very, very sweet couple. And they always walk the specific way, a specific circle. And I talked to them, "Why do you guys always walk in this direction, not that direction?" I don't know. I asked them, I was curious. And they told me it's the old folks route. And since I was young and since I'm not 40 yet, I have to go the opposite way. So I took their directions and I almost died on those hills. And then I ask them, so when you were before 40, they lived here for 40 years. Did you take this route or this route? And they're like, this is the reason we can walk any route right now, because we kept doing it. They're highly energetic at their 70s. So I think it's in a way, yes, there. And I don't want to neglect the fact that, or negate the fact that we can have medical conditions,
Yeah.
hypothyroidism. Every woman has some sort of thyroidism, right? We have so much emotional burden, so many emotional burdens and stress that will reduce our energy. And everybody's different. Some people might
Mm-hmm.
be mellow. Some people like me, I'm Jack Russell high all morning. So it gets tiring, I know,
Yeah.
and it's okay, right? And then we get mellow or we have boosts. But I think knowing that you can have it and having that hope and looking into things and learning about yourself and figuring this out,
Mhm.
that's beneficial the most.
Yeah. That's a good one. Are there other ones? Are there any other myths, or you think
Yeah,
that's the main
yeah,
one?
I have so many. So second biggest one, I was thinking about it since we chatted about it a little bit. It's that I need to have a pick me up. How many times do you hear it?
Mm.
You're driving through a Starbucks drive-through in the afternoon, which I never do because I can't have caffeine that late, because everybody's gonna suffer. You probably heard me a couple of times having caffeine a little too late past my
I like
curfew.
the caffeinated Anya.
Yeah. So I take my natural one, and I used to be super sluggish in the mornings. That's the fact. My most of my life, I hated waking up early.
Mhm.
So the second one is pick me ups, whether it's unwrapping another granola bar or getting an energy drink from a fridge,
Mm.
or having a pick me up snack, or a cup of coffee in the afternoon. They are band-aid solutions. They're not real solutions, because they just raise your blood sugar level for a little bit, and then it drops down, and you basically abusing your insulin system, and leads to insulin resistance, and leads to a bunch of issues with your health and hormones. So not relying on them may look like you may eat a fuller meal and have a piece of dark chocolate at the end for your sweetness or dessert, because we're not cows. We don't need to graze 5 times a day to keep that's one of the biggest myths in health. And I'm glad doctors coming to the same conclusion now, that we don't need to eat so many meals to keep our blood sugar low. Our blood
Mhm.
sugar is just fine if we eat 2 3 meals a day, and they're full meals, balanced, nutritious. So that's a big one, because I see so many people, even at my gym, they come in to work out at 5 o'clock and they're chugging coffee. And
Yeah.
it's the
Oh,
abuse of your systems.
well, and not to mention like drinking those energy drinks, like I don't know, like a Monster or whatever, like
Mhm.
or those little liquid caffeine drinks, the five, I don't even know what they're called, but
5 hour energy. Yeah.
yeah, but you look at the ingredients, it's so hard on your digestive system. It's just not good. And like you said, it just continues. I would imagine, like you're the expert here, but I would imagine that the more you do that, it's kind of like your body um, is not as well equipped to naturally give you energy, right? You become dependent
Yeah.
on it. And does it kind of reduce that function in your body?
Yeah, so you desensitize yourself basically through
Yes. Yeah.
coffee, right? And
Yeah.
hormones, and then you're reliant and you're dependent. And as you probably know by now, I'm a big proponent of breaking habits that are addictive, or you're relying too heavily on, whatever this is. I love
Hmm.
coffee. Don't get me wrong. I love my first cup of coffee in the morning, but it's also nice to get a coffee fast and see things differently, although it might be painful. Day
Yeah.
one is not fun. Let's be honest about it. But that's I'm a big proponent of not relying on anything, and relying on your body providing everything that you need in life.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a good one. What's number
Yeah.
three?
What's number three? Number three was that you need to women, generally women. I work with women mainly, so I speak for women. Guys are kind of handling it slightly differently. Women feel like they need to stop everything to take care of their
Mm.
energy levels or stress. And I feel like energy and stress go hand in hand. Energy and nutrition go hand in hand. There's so many parallels there. So just the overall idea of putting your life on hold to take care of yourself, thinking about, and often I hear this, my clients come to me and say, I need a vacation from all of it. I can't handle this anymore. I need a vacation. They come from vacation, they're like, what, I need vacation from vacation,
Yes.
and go back to the same pattern, doing the same thing, eating the same thing, grazing, stressing, obsessing, ruminating, not sleeping, etc., etc. So I think the whole idea of putting your life on hold or having the best time. So when my kids grow up, then I'm going to take care of myself. Or when I quit this job, I'm going to be happier and it's not going to be toxic and draining me. So that's a false idea, because you never know how much time you have on this planet. You never know what is it going to work for you, that vacation. I don't know. I had
Mhm.
vacations when I came back completely drained because I had a really fun vacation. So relying on that versus relying on those big things and further away than doing things today. Drinking your water. I'm talking to you. I'm standing up because I want my energy to be high
Mhm.
today.
Me
If I want
too.
to be slightly mellow, and yeah, see, those things, like they're probably, I don't know, 100 little things you can do to boost your energy, anywhere from dancing to praying to meditating to using nootropics. Like there's so many things we could engage, and they don't require money. That don't require a lot of time. They just require a little bit of knowledge and guidance and
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah. Those are amazing tips. So just to summarize, you talked about that it's age related, that we think that we need pick me ups, and that you have to put your life on hold. Which all of those really can be seen as, we can use them as bad excuses, right? We think
Oh
that,
yeah.
oh, I can't change because I'm too old, or that all or nothing thinking. I don't have time. I don't have time to work on my energy. I'm too tired to work on my energy, right?
That's a good one.
And I mean, the fact is, like, you have to take care of it. Like, energy is life. We are made of energy. And um, it's not just a physical thing, I guess. It's our whole being, right? Body, mind, and spirit. We have to take care of all of it. It's all part of it. Our nutrition is not just in a little component. That also feeds our energy, our mindset, our brain energy. That is a component of it, right? So what are some of the things that we can do? I know you named a few of them, like drinking your water, dancing, whatever it is to get your energy up. Do you have any other suggestions?
I do. And honestly, I feel like physical on a physical level, there's so many, like ditching sugar and
Mm,
eliminating foods that inflame you, because inflammation will definitely suck all the energy out of you. But I think the most important one, there's so many, like dancing, moving, taking a break, doing some stretches, petting your dogs, because that's also a dopamine release.
mhm.
And I think the most important one would be like an umbrella for everything, is empowering your mind and knowing that no matter how old you are, no matter what state you're in, physical, mental, emotional health, you can change things. And again, I come from experience right now, almost over a year in of working with ladies and gentlemen who have PTS, who have anxiety, who have TBI, and they get a second chance at living. And they know that once there's hope, you can rewire your brain, you can reprogram your genes, you can be healthier, you can be the healthiest version of yourself. And for energy, I think that starts there. It's just believing in
Mhm.
it and going through that filter in your brain that says no you can't, no you can't. Start looking for occasions where you can. Start looking for those 70-year-olds in your neighborhood who are running marathons, and just looking, get
Yeah.
inspired there, and then put a little plan to action, because if you don't, it's not going to happen. All right. So
Yep.
for me, it was that bottom where I felt like, what am I doing? I have my whole life in front of me, or so many years still, and I'm just drained and sitting here on the floor crying.
Yeah. And a lot of it is about getting to know yourself too. Like you said, what is draining to you? If you're introverts like you and I, sometimes being around a lot of people, even though we love people, it
Yeah.
can be energy draining for us. So we have to know what our limits are, and then we have to also know what fills us up. And you
Right.
can even, I talked to someone one time where she said she had actually had a set of like index cards. They were
Hmm.
like emergency self-care cards, and she gave them out to her husband and like her friends, and it's like, if I start tanking, here's the things you can do to help me. Like, tell me to
Hmm.
go take a nap, watch the kids so I can go have a weekend away, or whatever that is. Like, let people around know
Yeah.
how they can support you, and that way sometimes we don't see it. We're just like, flailing around like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so tired. You need somebody to cut. Like you will say, I think you're still not resting enough. I'm like, how much do I have to rest?
Yeah, or I'll send you my to-do list and you'll tell me, hey, I think you should remove something. Do you want to remove our interview? And I'll be like, no, because I don't want to. I think, yes, someone actually recommended one of my students in the barbell class recommended a book called Energy Bus. I have not read it, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
says that I haven't read it, and I heard the concept of like letting people with the same energy on your energy bus and people who
Yes.
value your boundaries and things like that. Because I think that's like I do clearing I do this spring cleaning of my world, like internal world, my computer, my
Mhm.
phone, my pictures, because that piles up. You don't think that's piling up and sucking your energy, but it does. The energy drains are everywhere, and identifying what they are for you. For me, it's multitasking. Oh my goodness. Try making me multitask. That's it. I'll be just all over, scroll, 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 and done in an hour. And my husband, for example, he can sit in front of 4 monitors and he's getting a kick out of it. So you got to know
Mhm.
yourself. You're right.
Yeah. So true. I love it. Oh my gosh, you're just amazing. And I'm so glad I finally get to have you on the podcast. And just you shared so many great nuggets. And again, just learning to take care of yourself and doing that work, becoming an expert in yourself, right? You gave some good tips. You could also, people pick up a book. The Energy Bus is a great book. I've read it, and it's true. People can drain us. There are certain people that their energy can drain us, especially if you're empathic. Is that the word? Or empath? Some of us absorb more energy than others, but paying attention to the energy of the people around you, you do have a choice about that too, the situations that you put yourself in. But sometimes it's hard to get started on your own, right? You can put a plan together, but we
Yeah.
are creatures of habit. So how could someone get more information about this or work with you if they want to take it to the next level? Go ahead, shout
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
out, girl.
Shut it out. Well, first of all, if you're stressed out and you're exhausted and you're ridden by anxiety, I recommend grab a freebie. I hope we can tag it in show notes.
Yeah.
Grab that freebie. 50 stress relievers. None of them include meditation, which is my favorite because I'm not a good meditator. I'll be honest with you. But there are other ways to relieve stress and anxiety and things that drain you. I work with people one-on-one. I work in the Reboot, which I think I'm gonna bring back for January round with support. And you went through Reboot, you know what it is. It's a
Mm-hmm.
30-day restarting program for your body, for your mind and soul. And yeah, I'm on Instagram almost every day until I decide it's draining my energy and I shut it down for a day or two and I just
Yes.
take a non-toxic, what's it called? Detoxifying break.
Detox. And you have your own podcast as well, which I'll
I
put the link to
do.
that as well. Go ahead. She's the
Yes.
Habit Queen. And
Yes.
you're amazing. I'm so grateful you came to join me today. And to my listeners, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Uh, Anya is amazing. So go check out the links in the show notes and follow her. I think you'll love her just as much as I do. And until next time, remember to keep your light shining bright. Peace out.